honestly, you all surprised me on that one. I was expecting the gushers to pull through, but you guys really wanted this one, so here we have it. Some watermelon Haribo with the cherries deck. A very nice combo, if you ask me. Anyway, I hope your day has been well and that you're ready to relax, play some solitaire. Let's get to our next contenders to see what will be in our next video. Our first option will be Wily Wallaby Fairy Berry with Haribo Gold Bears Cherry. Let's actually put that right there. Lifesavers Gummies Sour. That one looks pretty good. And then we have ourselves a big bag of taffy. So let me know which one you would like next time. And let's get back to some solitaire. My goodness. 4 pounds. Alright, this time I know what's gonna be picked. I just have a feeling. A strong feeling. But besides that, let's deal out our first game of the night and begin our candy and solitaire video as we continue to inch closer and closer to our 1000th solitaire video. Oh, this deck just looks so nice. A little bit of a Christmas feel, but a nice little cherry touch at it. Alright, let's open up our candy. Also, if you enjoy these videos, please let me know. Helps these become more possible and frequent. Actually, I think I'm gonna start increasing the frequency for a little bit, since we have quite a bit of candy. So if you think that's a good idea, let's do it. And honestly, this doesn't look like too much, but let's enjoy each bite as we begin. Let's get a good look while we're at it. My goodness, it's hard to find a feeling like the first sugar hit of the day. I haven't had any sugar today at all, and that threw my body for a little bit of a loop. Has that ever happened to you? It was kind of weird. Alright, I'll get into that very soon, but let's have one more while I get through our first game of the night. Let's go for the shorter one. So for whatever reason, fat stack number 1. I guess that's a good sign. I guess that's a win for our first game, I should say, as it looks like this one will be done fairly quickly. But immediately after putting in that candy, my mouth was like, whoa, what the heck is this? And then I started getting a little bit tingly, as there are double tens, king, and a queen. And that's it happens every once in a while, like if I don't have sugar for a while. And I think today, since I had probably 3 gallons of water, it might have had a bigger impact than normal. But I felt a little tingly throughout, like it started at the mouth, slowly worked its way down through the chest, and unusually enough in the elbows. Maybe since I was doing lots of exercises as well, but it's never felt this intense, I guess. Anyway, let me know if that's happened to you or not, or maybe I should do something about that. But surprisingly, these are very good right now despite that little sugar spike. The texture's soft, especially with the green part of the watermelon. It gets a little more chewy with the red, and surprisingly has a nice long-lasting flavor. I'm still tasting it too, which is nice. If I were to give it a rating on its own, it's actually probably about an 8.5, at least. I love myself some watermelon candy. Heck, just watermelon in general. And when you find a good watermelon candy, it's hard to beat it, no matter what your preference is. Anyway, on to game number 2. Let's see how we do, as we have one play lined up. So let's do this. That's a good question. What's your favorite watermelon candy? Let me think on mine, because that could be a little tricky, depending how you think about it. So while I think about that, let me pop in one more watermelon, and then get into that thought. Yeah, just nice. So, I actually remembered another story thinking about this one. So honestly, this is probably one of my favorite watermelon candies I've had, texture and flavor-wise. I'll roll out saltwater taffy because I think that's a bit unfair, since it's its own little entity of candy. So, I think a lot of you might have said Sour Patch Kids watermelon, and that obviously is a good choice. I used to enjoy those quite a bit. My brother and I would hang out on Friday nights, as that is our second fat stack of the night right there. My brother's quite a bit older than me, so on the weekend he would typically go out with friends, but on Friday night we would spend some time with each other. He would go, or we would go to Target together, pick out probably $5 worth of snacks, play some Star Wars, Grand Theft Auto, that type of stuff, as that's the end of this game, unless we could make something happen right here. And at Target, they had these, I'm not sure if they still do, I don't go looking for that, really, but they had watermelon wedges that were surprisingly very good. And I thought they were way better than the Sour Patch Kids, since Sour Patch Kids, to me, taste a little bit dirty when you eat them. Like way more sweet than they should be, and not even sour. But these had a nice watermelon taste, a good chew. The only bad thing. That's it for this one, yeah. Nothing else we could do was that they would get stuck in your teeth a bit. And that's not fun. Like, they'd get in there really good. And Target also had, at the time, a Swedish Fish name brand, or store brand, that was pretty good. My brother loved sour candy and Swedish Fish. So, when we found that, it was a very good alternative. I think Swedish Fish were probably $3 a bag. The Target brand, 99 cents. So we would stock up on that so we could play our games and have some fun. And I remember this one time, we're having this Swedish Fish batch, Target brand of course, and it tasted a bit funky. And we looked at the candy, because you know it's nighttime. You have your dependable snacks, sometimes you just pop them in without looking, especially if they're gummies. And it tasted bitter, somewhat metallic. So we stopped and we went to the kitchen and checked out what we were having. And there were, obviously, the Swedish Fish were red and Target brand. But there was this very dark red, congealed looking color within the Swedish Fish. And that was pretty nasty. And my brother and I thought maybe someone cut their hand or something in the production line, or wherever they were made, and it got in the bag. And when we took everything out of the bag, we noticed it was a little bit sticky in the bag with some of that weird liquid, and maybe it was just like food dye or whatever. But what makes it a little more weird is that the next weekend, when we went over to Target to get our weekend snacks, or Friday night snacks, they weren't on the shelves anymore, and I thought that was a bit suspicious. Anyway, these are completely fine, and let's have another. Did you ever have a weekend similar story. Okay, so this story is just related to my brother and candy. Alright, so when I was younger, probably low elementary school, my brother was in later high school, and I remember this one, I think kind of near the end of school, so just before summer. My brother was always eating candy, and I was wondering where he got all his candy from. And it was like this way pretty much throughout the first week of summer. So, what I found out is that he actually told me a story about why he had so much candy, probably a couple of years after the fact. So, the reason why he had so much candy was that he was at a band performance and somehow found $100, I think, in the restroom. As we have our third fat stack of the night, we're fatting it up right here. And with that, he and his friends went to the snack bar, or maybe a grocery store, one of those two, but I think he said snack bar, and spent $100 at the snack bar. And he came back and had to hide it from my parents in his backpack or instrument case, since they, that's just an unhealthy amount of candy type of thing. Growing up with a more natural type, not natural diet, obviously. If you've been around, you know how bad my diet was, but don't like extra junk type of thing. And he just kept on eating it for nights after nights in his room. And I remember that summer he got incredibly bad acne from it. And he just imagine Santa in his sack, but candy in a garbage bag. That's how bad it was. Because that's the end of our third game. So we get a fat stack. Nor for that 6, 7, or jack. Can we go any further? And by the looks of it, we cannot. On to game number 4. Maybe that's a little bit of a reason why I don't like having too many sweets. He got messed up with his acne. And I remember it was so bad that my parents said not to make fun of him. I wouldn't make fun of him because I thought that was a jerk thing to do. But, my goodness, it was insane. Anyway, just another little side story. For those of you who enjoy those, let's get back to some watermelon as we get on to game number 4. much on my own time, but when I find one I enjoy, I let myself enjoy it. Do you ever get that feeling? Like if you've been dieting or exercising at the gym, whatever it may be, and you've been very strict with yourself, and then let's say at the end of the week or a couple weeks, you let yourself get a burger or a slice of pizza, and you just enjoy the crap out of it. That's how I kind of feel when we do these videos. I would normally never get myself this stuff, but, well, since it's here, why not just, enjoy it while you can. What makes these really good is the texture. HARIBO, when it comes to flavor, is almost always some of the best. Texture, it could be hit or miss, depending on your preference. But when it's the softer candies, for me, HARIBO never misses a beat. And in the case of these, the softness, the chewiness, accompanied by the little bit of sugar grains and sourness on top of the candy, really enhance the experience in a way, texture-wise, that elevates the flavor at least twofold. So if you've ever seen these and you're kind of like someone like myself who enjoys texture just as much as flavor, likes a little bit of soft with a little bit of resistance as well as some crunchiness, this is the way to go. Especially if you love watermelon, because HARIBO is good at not making things too sweet as well, as that's the end of our fourth game. I honestly thought we're gonna get another fat stack, but nowhere for that 6, 5, queen, 10, or 9. Wait a second. We are still alive. But still, there's nowhere for that 6, 5, queen, 10, or 9, unfortunately. We had a little spark at the end, but that spark was just a flash. So let's see which cards are left unturned and get into these final 5 pieces of watermelon candy. As we had double 4s, double 2s, double 3s, and double aces. You know what? Let's go, both of them, since they want to be stuck together. Alright. In that case, less was more. That was too sweet. Anyway, let's see how we wrap up our night. And if we could scratch across a win before things are said and done. How are you doing right now, by the way? I hope your eyes are heavy. Your mind is empty. Your blankets are warm. That's an interesting start. So, honestly, there's not much stickiness to these, but just in case, let's go for it. I think tonight I'm actually going to finish all of the candy. I cannot remember the last time that has happened. Okay, after this next go through, another watermelon down the hatch. Here we go. This is so annoying, not being able to make a play with all of those face cards. And actually, I think all of those face cards are what's gonna be that keeps us from going any further. So let's see if there's anything else left hiding in our hands before our night is done. Here we go. Thorough check. As there's nowhere for that queen. 8. 8 once again, and king. My goodness. That is not nice. But you know what was nice? Spending some time with you to wrap up our night. With that being said, my friend, I hope you enjoyed. Not the outcome we would have liked game-wise, but you know what? I still had fun. And I hope you did too. Let me know which candy you would like to see next time, as we had triple 10s and 2s left unturned. I'm going to bed, and you